Quick note before we start. This video walks through JobTread's legacy selections experience, available to customers who joined prior to February 2026. JobTread now offers a new and improved selections experience with a streamlined photo-centered design. If you'd like to learn more about the updated version, you can find the link to the new tutorial in the description below. Predefined selections are used to offer a series of choices to your customer. Now, these are defined choices, and many people use these in a good, better, best offering. So you can create predefined selections in two different places within a job. One is within your budget tab, and the other is within the selections tab. We're going to go over both. Let's start in the budget. When we're in a job budget, you're going to see right now I do already have my base package for my kitchen remodel, but let's go ahead and build out some selections. We're going to click plus group to create the group that we're going to put our selection choices within. So we'll click plus group, and I'm going to say that these are going to be flooring selections. All right, and create that new cost group. Now you'll see that there's nothing in this group quite yet, so now I can add my choices to it. So I will click the three dots at the group level, and then I'll click plus cost item. Now I can enter in my first choice for my customer. So let's say that we're going to offer them some vinyl flooring for their kitchen. So I will call this vinyl. And then I can enter in the description for that. So we'll say that this is an affordable and versatile flooring option. Great, and then I can choose my cost type. This will be maybe materials, and my cost code again are my back-end accounting code. So we'll go ahead and choose flooring. All right, maybe I'm trying to cover 200 square feet here, so we're going to put 200 in our quantity and choose square feet as our unit. And then the unit cost is how much it will cost per square foot for this flooring. So we're gonna put $5.50 in here, and now you'll see that my price is automatically calculated based on my profit margin. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and add some photos, files, or videos to this item to make it stand out and help my customer visualize it. So we'll click the three dots on the item level, and we will open up those item details. Here you'll see I could have entered in all of my item details here, but we already did that. So we're gonna go down to the bottom and we will add in our files. I'll just drag and drop some photos of vinyl flooring options here for my customer. And of course, I can then add a name for each of these, or I can just hit done and they will all be added. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and add a couple more choices. So I would like another choice beneath vinyl flooring. So let's go ahead and click the three dots at that vinyl level and add a cost item beneath it, plus cost item. And this one will be for tile. Perfect. Now again, you might want to just open up the details for that item by clicking the three dots and choosing show details, and we can enter in all the details for the item here as opposed to right there in our budget. Either works. So let's go ahead and add a description for this. We will say that it is durable ceramic or porcelain. Great. And then we'll add a cost code, and this will be again flooring. And then the type is going to be materials, and our quantity again should match the other one because we're still covering the same floor size. So we're gonna just do 200 square feet. And then the unit cost for this one, however, is going to be $6.50. Perfect. Now I'd like to add in some photos on this one as well. You could also add videos if you'd want to, but let me just drag and drop some that I have pre-saved in here to give my customers some visuals, and we'll hit done. Great, now I have some files added, and that item is safely within that flooring selections group. Now let's add one more predefined option for my customer. So I can click the three dots at tile to add another one beneath it, and we will choose plus cost item. And this one will be our fancy hardwood. Wonderful. Now again, I can fill out the details here, but sometimes it's just easier if you know you're gonna be adding some photos, we'll just open up the details from that three dot menu. Now I'm going to add a description. We'll say natural wood, for a high quality and warm look. Okay, And of course, we're going to fix any spelling errors there and we will move on. So here we'll add in our cost code. This will be flooring, and then the type will be materials once again. And then we can have our quantity. We need to match because we're still covering that same square footage, regardless what choice they make. And then we'll add in our unit cost. This is a bit higher, so we're going to put $8.50 per square foot. And now we have calculated all of our price for our customer based on that margin. Okay, now let's add in some photos on this one. So I'm going to again drag and drop a series of photos directly on here, or you can click upload or copy from another place in JobTread. All right, we'll hit done and now they are saved. Perfect. Okay, so let's save our changes and take a look at what we've done. So now I have 3 choices within my flooring selections group. However, at this time, we're going to notice that the system is totaling all of the items within that flooring selections group at the cost and price level. So the system is assuming we're going to include all 3 of those different flooring types in this job. That's not true. So what we need to do is we need to convert this group to a selections group. Currently, as it stands, it's just a standard cost group in our budget. So we need to go into the group details. We'll click the 3 dots at the group level, and then we'll choose Show Details, and then we'll open up the Group Details menu. And here you'll see that we have the option to allow selections. If we turn that on, now you'll notice that we have a little icon at the group level that says, indeed, this is a selections group, and each of these items within it will have a checkbox so that your customer can make their choices there. Also, we can identify how many selections are required. So what is the minimum number of selections that our customers need to make here? And so since I want them to choose a flooring type, we need to make this a minimum of 1. And then how many are allowed? They can't pick more than 1, so we're gonna make the maximum a 1 as well. Okay, now if I close this, you'll notice that we have a range at that cost and price for the group level. So this is showing the lowest to the highest cost or price for the item based on what they choose. Once they make a selection, then the budgeted cost will reflect whatever selection they've made. All right, we're gonna save our changes. Now, whenever you're sending this to a customer, you could send it in many different workflows. And so I encourage you to take a look at the other videos and help desk articles on the various workflows for sending your selections to your customers, whether it be pre-contract, during contract, or post-contract. However, in this case, since we already have that base package and then we have our flooring selections, let's just go ahead and add this to the actual contract itself. So a during contract selection. We will click plus document on the top, and now we'll choose our customer order type, and in this case, I'll choose my proposal template. And now I would like everything from my budget on this document, so I'm gonna leave everything pre-selected, and we will click create. Here you'll see that I have my base package for my remodel. I'm gonna turn on all of my item files here as well. And now you'll see that we have our selections options for our customer as well. Okay, that looks good to me. We'll save it and we will send it off. All right, we're gonna send it over to Peyton, and Peyton will be able to make the selections here. So it's a pending contract. Now, as Peyton scrolls down, she can choose, and we're going to kind of play around with this, and you'll see as they make their selections, this bottom line will change based on what they choose. So now you've just positioned your customer in the driver's seat to select their entire contract price. So maybe she feels good about the hardwood right here, and she's going to sign away and approve. We not only have approved this proposal, but now she has locked in her selection of hardwood flooring as the budget for the job. The other options are still left in case she changes her mind, or you can always choose to select what was not chosen by the customer and delete those lines off your budget if you'd like. I just know that you've put in a lot of hard work to create all these selections, so you might just want to save them in your budget knowing that they're not approved, and in case she changes her mind, you'll be able to then switch that in nice and easy. Okay, let's take a look at another way that we can build our selections, and that would be within the Selections tab. When you head to your Selections tab in your job, you're going to notice that any document that has selection items on it will be listed in the Selections tab. Now, this is fantastic because you can create several documents for various selections within the job. So in this case, I could have had this just be my flooring selection, and then maybe I want to add a new selection document here, and I just want this selection document to be for appliances. So let's do appliance selections. Okay, and then we can add in our cost group. Now you could add a new group from scratch. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to call this appliance package. Okay, and now we're going to choose how many selections we will require. So this will be 1, how many are allowed, 1, and hopefully you're starting to see a very similar experience as what you had before. But in this case, we're just building out the document as opposed to putting it in our budget first. So you can come at it from 2 different angles, but you're going to accomplish the same result. All right, so I like that. And now let's add our choices within this group. So within my appliance package group, I'll click plus item. And now I'm going to choose an item that's already saved in my catalog to make this nice and easy. So I'll choose from catalog, and we are going to look in my own catalog here, and I will find my Maytag option. There it is. Okay. And I also could go ahead and add additional items right here from my global catalog. So let's do Samsung as well. And let's also add in our Fisher and Paykel one. There it is. Okay, now let's click add, and you will see all 3 of those items are now added into my appliance package selection. Okay, now I could also add an additional selection in the same document. So if I'd like to do that, I can click plus group, and now I can add appliance upgrades. Once again, I could go ahead and add a new group from scratch, and we're going to call this appliance upgrades. Great. And how many are required? Since this is going to be an upgrade group, I'm not going to require anything, but how many are allowed? They can pick all they want. So I'm just going to leave that as 0 and all. All right. Now we'll close that, and you'll notice that we can go ahead and add in our items. So let's click plus item here, and we'll choose from my catalog. And now I'm going to search for my various items I'd like to add to this group. So I'm looking in my personal catalog right now, but hey, you could also add from Home Depot. You could also add from our templates, but we'll go ahead and add in some items here. We'll do our range hood. Perfect. Maybe I also want to offer a trash compactor. There we go. And then let's do a beverage cooler. Awesome. And then maybe I would want to add a wine cooler. That's my favorite. There it is. All right. So now I have 4 items that I've already selected from my global catalog. And if I click add, you will see all 4 of those items are now added into our appliance upgrades. So notice between these 2 groups, this one is making them choose one option, but then in the second group, it says select any option, and those would be the upgrades. Whenever creating a selection document here on your Selections tab, you're also going to notice that you can set a due date for this selection document. So if you want them to choose their appliances by, let's say, September 12th, then you could choose that here and click Create. Here are our appliance selections, and you can send these off to your customer when you're ready. So we'll click Send. All right, we do want a signature on this, and we'll send it to Peyton. Okay, so now Peyton is going to see that this particular selections document is pending, and it is due on Friday, September 12th. However, if you wanted to add additional selection documents here, she will also see when those are pending and what their due dates are. Many home builders have a selections document per room in the house. And so you could have a primary bedroom selection document where they're choosing all of their selections for that primary bedroom in a single document. And then you could have a kitchen selections document and a primary bath selections document, a garage selection document, so that all of your selections are rolled up within the individual rooms. So you can choose how you'd like to organize these selections. Well, let's go ahead and pretend that we're Peyton here, and she's going to come in and choose to review her selections. All right, she's gonna choose maybe the Samsung package, and then also maybe she wants her trash compactor and of course that wine cooler, and she will sign away. She'll approve, and now you'll see that only the choices that were made are showing here on the selections document. And we'll notice that when we go back to our budget, those items are added to our budget, but only the items that were selected from that selections tab are added to our budget at this time. Once again, I encourage you to take a look at our other videos on selections to understand how to use selections within your specific workflow, whether that be pre-contract selections, during contract selections, or post-contract selections with allowances. And if you need any additional help, contact your customer success manager or email support@jobtread.com.